Stewart for the call.
And in goes Girl Racer to complete the line for the Sandringham Stakes. They're all in. They're off. The straight mile ahead of them for the Sandringham Stakes. Rich, Polypot, Novus and Jackie O in a pink jacket get out well towards the near side, with Schwarzer in the yellow also showing speed. Towards the near side, Novus is now tracking the leaders, with in behind Coppis, the pink cap, and then Copy Artist and Mabel Artiste in the black and white, Unless in the maroon and blue, and Candle of Hope with the scarlet sleeves tracks them towards the stand side, the right-hand group, as they head towards the end of the third furlong. Over on the far side, the left-hand group being led by Faniska with the white cap. Right up amongst them over there is Youngest in a yellow jacket, and then Bella Fina with Chelsea Green second from the right in that group, and further right to Clown Mackin. Eximius and Zoe Innocent are also in that group, with Bridestones and Salsabila and Magical Sunset as they go through halfway in the Sandringham. So two distinct groups. Far side group, left-hand group just have a narrow advantage, but out on the right, Polypot in the pale colours is moving up with Schwarzer. Novus, Rich in a red jacket, is bang there with Mabel Artiste. Candle of Hope is still in the leading line. In behind, Jackie O pink with the blue cap. Frankie, the pink cap, trying to find a way through on Coppis as they move down inside the last quarter mile. So Coppis now finding a bit of daylight as comes bursting through on the stand side to take over from Candle of Hope. Breege in a green jacket is also picking up down the stand side. It's Frankie in front inside the furlong on Coppis. Breeze green jacket challenging hard. Balalaika is also running on. Frankie nudging away. Coppis in front. Frankie on fire on his farewell. Coppis wins the Sandringham from Breeze and Balalaika, followed home by Unless, and they were a little way clear of Candle of Hope on the far side. Lady Alara and Magical Sunset did best of those.
It's winner number 81 at Royal Ascot for Frankie Dettori. You know what that means, don't you? It means he's going to have to ride for another year, because I'm sure he'll want to get to around 90.
Well, it was the round number, wasn't it?
It was the round number, but Coppis comes home in front. Filly, we told you, was entered in the Coronation Stakes. She's a full sister to the Coventry winner, Calix.
And you know what? This is the Frankie Dettori show it suddenly turned into. Think back to partway through Wednesday when everything was going wrong, and it looked for a second as if, are we going to have the worst possible result and a farewell to Frankie without him having a winner? He is now riding the crest of a wave, but he's also riding for John and Thady Gosden. And almost forgotten in all this is what a brilliant week, Jim, it's been for the Gosdens.
Absolutely, and just watching this replay as you're talking to me, Jamie, he really had to wake her up, Frankie, didn't he?
Yeah, it certainly did. And Jamie, fair play to you. You went so close with Breege there. I thought you'd got it, but unfortunately you've got Frankie doing what Frankie does best.
Yeah, I watched it very calmly, though. I never for one moment thought that Breege was going to get there.
Yes, you did. You were shouting and jumping up and down.
Shh, don't peel back the curtain here. That's what I was like. That's exactly what I was like.
You weren't quite like that.
No.
Alex mentioned Hayley Turner in all this. Her horse has run. Balalaika finishes third. Flew from off the pace, so that's a great run for Rebecca Menzies as well.
Yeah.
Another big price.
Yeah, fantastic. Look at that third at 66 to 1, and Unless finishing in fourth. Hayley Turner's brilliant in this race, isn't she? What a record, 2 wins, and this filly has now finished third. But when Frankie's train is rolling down the tracks like this, Jamie, there's no stopping him.
Yeah, it is, and that's why he can ride winners of 29 runner handicaps that look impossible as well. And when these big stables enter horses, you know, Jim often refers to horses being entered. For this horse to be entered and then to run in the Nell Gwyn and still be entered in the Coronation at the point you mentioned, and then later on for the, was it the Sun Chariot, did you say, or the Falmouth?
I think it was Jim that said.
She's in the Falmouth.
In the Falmouth, yeah. They know what they're doing, don't they? These big stables know exactly what they've got, and that's why she went off joint favourite. That's why her mark looked to undersell her, and that's why these trainers are so good.
And we had news this morning that Native Trail had been retired. Yeah. This filly's from the same family.
Is it really?
That's wow, that's good to know. And also, I always think it's quite difficult, isn't it, when you go from, say, a trainer like John Gosden, then it's a training partnership that they didn't really ought to go back to zero with the tallies, because obviously John is still very, very involved. So I'm going to say that was 64 winners for Team Gosden at Royal Ascot
and
over
just
the years.
Sensational.
Is it 9 for Team Thady and
I don't know, Jim.
Already?
I'll bow to your superior knowledge.
I'm not sure. I think it's 9.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, just to go back to scratch would seem a little difficult. But look at that, Jamie. The price of COPPICE 6-1. Seb, just talk us through this. I mean, for Frankie to weave through, I saw him following the King and Queen's horse through. I mean, a big field like that, it's not straightforward.
He got a great toe through from Candle of Hope, and he was in complete control. He was going that well. He was in control of his own destiny. I have to say, Brige ran a super race up the stands rail, and the first time she's been dropped into this sort of company. I mean, COPPICE, you have to give full credit because, all her form was on the all-weather surface. Her only other run on the grass, she bombed out on soft ground. And it was a bit of a guessing scenario whether she'd win or not because you just didn't know what sort of ground she'd handle.
But the interesting thing, Jamie, and we've said this time and time again, particularly Team Gosden, they're very happy and quite keen to run their very good horses on these all-weather surfaces nowadays.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point to make. Sometimes it's a means to an end, sometimes it's a necessity, but it's no coincidence that a high proportion of the Gosden's real stars in recent years have had their grounding on the all-weather runway, and COPPICE was another one who learned her art and craft on that surface and is then able to do this. But yes, poor old handicaps are supposed to be fair. There's nothing fair about Brige running into assisted calyx there, is there?